Hey guys!
We're back.
I know, it's been a while, bro.
Dude, it's been too long.
It's just hard to find time to be like, oh, you got 3.5 hours?
4,
Like,
including
free
recording?
time on a weekend when you'd rather be playing games?
Whatever.
Yeah.
It was Children of Men, right? Last time?
Yes, Children of Men was our last one. It came out like a month ago.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. A great movie.
Oh, it's great. No, it's an awesome movie.
But we're not talking about Children of Men today.
No, we're not. Yeah.
Today we are actually watching, I think, like really like the first movie. Oh no, Alien's usually like in the 50s. Like this is probably the first movie that we'll watch that will be basically in the top 5 of every single top 100 movie list you'll ever see on the internet.
Oh, God. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited, man.
It's old.
Yeah,
but
old
the
as shit.
thing is, it doesn't really, like, I remember when my dad first showed it to me,
Mm-hmm.
he was a little worried I wouldn't like it because I was like 13 or 14, and he was a little worried I wouldn't like it because it's old.
Mm-hmm.
But what ended up happening is it's not full of action sequences or things that really expose age.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it looks a little bit old, but the Blu-rays do such a great job of that old footage.
Yeah,
So it doesn't really, there's no instance where this really, the age really impacts it at all.
Yeah, we talked about that with Star Wars. Like, it was never...
Yeah, and that's
watch
effects
this.
heavy.
Yeah.
And also, you're watching the one where George Lucas went back
Right.
and added CGI and stuff. But there's no
Really
there's no
great CGI.
point where CGI would ever have made any
Right.
reason here. It's all just costuming and
Yep.
acting and dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Really, is all it is. What are you thinking or expecting, or what do you know of the movie?
So we've been planning this movie for a long time. It's the longest one. If we haven't talked about it yet, Godfather is what we're going to be watching.
Yep.
It's just this one we had to carve out the most time for.
It's a long
and I will say this is right up there with Star Wars, as in it gets the biggest reaction out of people when you tell them that you haven't seen it. People go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Isn't that like the first movie everybody watches? And I'm just like, I missed a boat somewhere. Like same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You
movies just were not in like what it's not what you were doing at that time.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all. It was.
I don't know what I was doing, but it wasn't movies. And what I'm excited for is this is another one where I know all of the mainstream kind of quips that come from this movie.
Sure.
Like, the only fucking
Marlon
Brando killing it. I'm excited though. I'm excited to know really what the movie's about.
Sure.
Because I have no clue. I know it's the mafia.
Right.
Probably a bunch of Italians.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, they are. There are 2 mafia movies in the world that matter. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones. Dozens of great mafia movies.
Right.
But there's 2 mafia movies that are all mafia movies are now built upon, and none will ever beat. And it's Godfather and it's Goodfellas.
Okay.
Both of which we will watch because they're both usually in the top 10 of movies of all time.
Okay.
Generally speaking, when you see them, the difference between them is the Godfather, like expectation-wise, it's pure fantasy, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Never do they tell you it's based on a true story. It's not. It's based on a novel series by Mario Puzo. It's the Corleones are a fake family. There's not. I mean, obviously he knows a lot about the mob, but it's a very like traditional, old school look, and at the mafia. And like in some ways, it might be like some of the criticisms that come to the movies. Like it might be a little too friendly,
Like over exaggerated.
No, it's just that a lot of people feel like they don't hold the mafia accountable enough for the violence and horrible things that they do.
That's fair.
And that's like one thing you might notice is like, but outside of that, like if that's not a problem for you, just from like dialogue and acting and casting and all of that, it is the perfect movie. Like it's right there.
Dude,
I mean, you can't. It's so enthralling. It's so enthralling.
I can't wait, dude.
I'm super pumped. I was telling everyone at work today, dude, we're watching The Godfather. I have this show called Mason Missed It that my buddy, his name is Mason. He didn't see movies. And he hadn't seen Godfather. And
You didn't see movies?
I was excited. They were like, he's never seen Godfather? I'm like, yeah, he didn't see Star Wars either. And
I know.
now they're saying it's no. Like people who I talk to, like, that's really cool you have a show that like you just watch all these fucking
Dude,
movies.
yeah, most people aren't quite as understanding and open to exposing me to that media as you have been.
They'd rather just get mad at
They'd
you.
rather just get really angry.
Fuck that,
at
dude.
The fact that I haven't seen these things. They're like, wow, what a piece of garbage.
Here's the difference, and I think I would be like that if you had like a bad attitude, like whatever.
Fuck Star Wars.
Yeah. Today I talked to someone and he might be watching. Brett, I'm calling you out.
Fuck it, Brett. It would be his
Brett.
name too.
So I told him, I told him we're watching Godfather, and he's like, "Yeah, I've never seen it either." I'm like, "Oh man, you should really check it out." He goes, "Too much talking." And I was just like, I want to throw you out the fucking window right now, you little plebeian. So that's just the most ridiculous horseshit answer I've ever heard, and I don't want him to watch Godfather.
He should watch Dunkirk.
Yeah, well, he likes Game of Thrones, which
really
is like 70% dialogue.
Yeah, a lot of dialogue.
I feel like people forget that.
Like a great action. Well, you have the action.
They think of the action sequence. They think of the big moments. So as you look back, you're like, wow, it's action packed.
Yeah.
If you were to break down minutes spent dialogue, probably
compared to action,
almost all.
Yeah, no, yeah. Even you don't even get a good battle sequence until like season 3.
So good dialogue goes a long way, probably
does.
further than anything else in any movie you can do. So, anyways,
I'm exciid.
Let's do this,
I can't wait. Let's jump in.
Let's watch The Godfather. I can't wait to hear. And you're impossible to read for me, so
Good.
I'll have no fucking clue what you think of this movie until we sit down here, because he's just like
we got back from Dunkirk.
We're watching Dunkirk. He's like, well, movie. I was looking at him during the movie. I'm like,
taking it in. I'm taking it in.
Unless I think he hates it. I was all worried that you hated Dunkirk.
I know. We sat down. And the first thing you said was like, Mason, you hated it. And I was like, I liked it a lot. What does that mean? Like, but I get that a lot about everything. So, I got to work
poker face.
I got to work on my resting bitch face a little bit. But
it's not. It doesn't look like you're like. You don't look like you're mad or upset or not liking it.
Yeah.
But usually when you're enjoying something,
totally,
it will. I was over there like freaking out like as I watched the movie. We just experience it differently. Is all.
Totally. Yeah. It doesn't mean I like it any less.
Exactly.
I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I know almost nothing about this movie. I know a horse gets its head.
You'll recognize the theme song too. I guarantee. Even if you can't do it now,
I can imagine the music only because I played the game.
Oh, right.
And
they
I think
play it,
the music, and they do run through certain sequences in the game that I think have.
Yeah, there's some characters from the film.
You cut a horse's head off. I know that about the movie. I know
that was one of the most disturbing, scary parts. Whew. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's go watch Godfather.
We'll see you in a minute.
I never wanted this for you. I worked my whole life. I don't apologize to take care of my family. And I refused to be a fool. Dancing on the string held by all those big shots.
It's not personal. It's strictly business.
I don't even know where to begin.
That could be it right there.
That's it.
What did you think, man? I don't know what you thought yet,
dude.
I have okay. Here, before you say anything,
please,
I'm gonna let you go.
Let me go.
This is the first time I think I have like a really good idea what you feel. I feel like you really liked it.
I think it's because of how much more. You know what I mean? Exclamatory I was during the movie rather than like Dunkirk, like as an example as you used earlier. But go ahead with what.
No, that was it. Like I was feeling like I'm like I think he's fucking into this movie right now.
What gives you that impression? What gave you that impression?
You seem like really pumped to come in here and talk about it, and just like the way that you were. I think it's because the movie was getting like reactions out of you. You were like, oh shit, like you were narrating it with your own, like you couldn't help but say something as things happen.
Yeah,
which is not the case in other movies.
No, the entire movie, which is 90 hours long, I was taking like mental notes. Okay, I'll bring this up. I'll bring this up.
We could take real notes.
I really should have taken real notes. In hindsight, I should have taken real notes, but hindsight's 2020. So.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first thing, I mean, I have a couple.
Okay.
I'll try not to go too long. First thing, and these are all things I loved about this movie, so let me give it away. Love the fucking movie. I can't. Maybe because I just watched it, I can't think of anything about it that I didn't like.
Sure.
I feel like the length was completely necessary.
There was never a scene that was like, this doesn't need
There was
to be
no
here.
fat. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
everything worked the way it did. And what I was going to say is, I like throughout the entire movie, you're constantly trying to solve a puzzle. Not like a mystery, rather like... It's a pretty straightforward plot, but you wouldn't expect it to kind of go the way it does at certain points.
Yeah.
And when you have that light bulb go off in your head, you're like, oh. Yeah. And that happens a lot throughout the movie. You're like, that just happened.
Yep.
And then it really happened, and you're like, oh my god. But one thing you pointed out, and I wouldn't have noticed when the movie started, Al Pacino. like 15 in this movie.
Yeah, I know. He's like a little bit older than we are now. Like,
very strange. Very good to see him. He played an awesome role as Michael Corleone.
that movie made him.
God, it had to.
And well, I mean, this might be too early to bring this up, but
No, I don't even know where to begin.
well, what you're saying is you really liked him, and like, Godfather 1 is, like I said, it's usually in like the top 5 of all those lists.
Mm-hmm.
A few spots down is Godfather Part 2.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they're that good. Like, they
That's-
continue to be that good.
That's what I was going to touch on.
3,
too.
no. I mean, 3's good, but it's not 1 or 2. 1 or 2 are basically equally good. So we have another one to watch.
It's so good. It's so good, and we can't break it down scene by scene. We don't have the time.
No.
There was just
Do you have is there a specific character that you remember
Yes.
the most? Okay.
Tom.
I loved it. The
Tommy,
concierge?
yeah, I can't say it correctly. Consigliere or whatever, the counselor.
Yeah.
He's
great.
I love the unquestionable loyalty
Mm-hmm.
that everybody, not everybody, but most people within the family have
Right.
for whoever's a Don at that point, or even anyone who ranks above them. There's this crazy respect
Yeah.
that you never see.
And you can usually tell it's legitimate because you assume as you watch the movie, you're like, oh man, they must have like helped him out.
At one point,
You know?
someone's in somebody's debt.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time.
Yep.
But I like how Tommy, he's kind of the lawyer. Like
He is actually
a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Probably gets paid $800,000 a year by that family to do
In
what he does.
1946.
In 1946, he's doing just fine. I love that every scene he's in, he's solving a problem
Right.
that no one else could solve without him there. I like that when Sonny was around. Spoilers, he's dead. Towards the end of the movie, I like how when Sonny's around, Tommy's there to kind of try to keep him at bay. Sonny's kind of a hothead, which we talked about before.
Extreme hot.
If he was running that family without anyone's help, it would just be war all the
my
time.
favorite,
And
my favorite scene in the movie is when he kicks the shit out of the wife.
dude, then
I just love
what's that
that
guy's?
so
what's
much.
the husband's name?
Carlo.
Carlo.
That
I can't remember.
rat piece of shit.
Dude, he beats the shit out of his wife, who is the sister of the family,
Yeah,
of every one
yep.
of those sons in the family, and God, I love how before he does it too, he's talking to her, and she's like, "Don't kill him," and he's like, "I wouldn't
no.
make your son a father."
Well, at first, like that's such good. There's so many like all the characters. The dialogue is good, but what sells it all is like these actors are so good.
So good.
Like the smallest, most subtle things, like that right there. When when he sees her face and it's bruised, and he's because we know him at that point to be a hothead. And he does everything he can. He goes, and he bites on his fist so hard, and
God.
you just buy it. You're like, yes, that is absolutely that character.
And,
it's a small, and then he calms down. Yeah,
because he knows exactly what he's gonna do next.
Oh, yeah.
And I love how she's like, "Don't kill him," and he's like, "I wouldn't make your son an orphan." You know, right after he's born, I wouldn't. So I'm like, okay, he's not gonna kill him, but he's not calm.
No, and he's fucking
I
sunny.
turned to you and I was like, he can still beat the shit out of him.
And then
he
right as he
immediately
he throws something at him.
Come here, you son of a bitch! And he like throws a wooden fucking
like,
stick at him,
stick at him.
and just beats
He just
the
pours garbage on him.
God-loving. He pours it on him. He hits him with the can, and he beats him with the lid.
lid.
He pulls his shoe off and beats him with his own shoe. Like it's the most.
Because like I feel like you could just feel he was truly angry. It wasn't this.
Yeah.
It wasn't this big setup that. Oh, I forgot to move the mic over here, guys.
Good old Mike.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that scene. Just because like it's just sold so well, and it's
So good.
it just at that point like that finishes Sonny's character. You know who Sonny is at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, yeah, he's a hothead, but man, he loves his fucking family.
He's the
and
older
if you
brother.
mess with exactly.
He's just an older brother, and
And I hate it when he dies.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a terrible scene.
I hated it because we didn't get to see him kill Carlo.
Right.
But then later on, it's pointed out, and you pointed it out to me too, Carlo wouldn't have gone to the lengths of beating her again if he knew that Sonny was going to be alive.
No, he
Because-
did that to get Sonny to
Yeah,
drive out
because
toward
he
him.
knew it would work.
Yep.
He wouldn't wait for.
He had
backup.
already
He'd
been
go.
approached by Barzini at that time. Hey, I don't know if we can figure out something, but I know you don't like him, so let's figure out a way to trap him because he's easily baited.
Yeah,
Obviously,
he's
it worked. It was perfect.
emotional. Yeah,
Yep.
he's over emotional.
So he
the way he dies is he pulls up to kind of like a
It's like a toll booth.
toll booth.
Yep.
And the fucking toll guard like, oh, I dropped a coin. And he
And then
kneels down and then 30 guys with Tommy guns pop out and just mow him down. But
And that was supposed to be, I mean, it wasn't, they didn't think they needed that. That was purposely supposed to be overly dramatic.
To make a point.
Yeah,
Make a
make a
statement.
point. Just shoot him with as many rounds as you possibly can. Make it the most dramatic thing. You know.
So Sonny dies.
Yep.
I really enjoyed Michael's progression.
Yeah.
To Don, which happens quickly because they do make a couple jumps where they skip like a couple years when
Yeah.
he comes back from.
And they don't really like
Sicily.
tell you. There's never like a time where it's like 1946.
No, they don't tell you. They jump to him in a car with a kid, and then I was like, "Is that his kid?"
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
oh,
It's like okay, I guess it's like 1949 then.
They don't really show him come back from Sicily after wife number 1 dies.
Yeah,
Or,
that was terrible.
She might be wife number 2, right? Because he had Kate.
But she wasn't. They weren't married.
You're right. Okay. Yeah,
So
wife
it was
number
wife
one.
number 1.
Car bomb.
That was horrible.
Nuts. Crazy.
And I think one thing about, and just like it's actually to your point, what you were saying with the fact there's a lot of those moments, like, oh, I see, he's the traitor. Oh, I get it, well, I get why.
Yeah.
They also do a lot of these moments of, oh, no. Before it happens.
Yep.
Like,
100%.
they tell you what's going to happen, but right before.
I don't remember the guy's name, but when he was in Sicily, Michael, he had 2 guys with him at all times to protect him. And I don't know if they were both in on it, but at least one of them.
I mean, I don't think they were to start with. I think he was there for a long time, and he was approached. Maybe
because he was there for
maybe
years.
his family was threatened.
He was there for at least like a year, right?
Yeah,
I think it was a year.
Yeah, and then the 2 guys with him were living in Sicily. So someone approached him. They either threatened him, threatened his family, paid him, whatever. We don't know. You know, they don't bother explaining that. But then he plants the car bomb.
He plants the car bomb. Michael comes out to see his newly educated on driving wife. She's very excited. She wants to drive and pick him up. And he kind of pans over to that guy whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, he looks real nervous.
And he's kind of like backing away. And that's when you go.
That's when the audience is like,
God,
oh no, it's a
what's
car
gonna
bomb.
happen?
Like,
yeah.
and then boom,
God,
blows up.
So she's dead. Michael comes back. This is. I mean, when he comes back, they talk about how Don Vito is sick.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he has cancer.
Yeah, they don't really say.
really
I mean,
talk
it's
about
either cancer or he's just beat down, man. He
He's
got shot 5 times and
shit.
he's old. And
Yeah, God, dude. Yeah, and when he got shot, I was like, okay, man, he died quick in this movie.
Yeah.
And not for 1 second was I like, oh, the 70-year-old we just shot 5 times is going to survive.
Yeah,
but he
fucking
survived. And he's a fucking badass
He
throughout
is.
the entire
So yeah,
movie.
give me your thoughts on Marlon Brando
And that was another
as Vito.
mental note. I don't know... And who knows? No, again, hindsight's 20/20. But I don't know of anyone else who could have played that role like that would have stood out that much. It kind of gives me the feeling of like Heath Ledger as Joker. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like no one else would have.
No, it was just one of those moments in time kind of
for him.
things. You know what I mean?
It had to be him.
Yep.
But as the character, Vito as a character, I love how he's a guy who you never even see do anything violent, but everybody's afraid of him. I just something about that respect.
He just has that control.
I just keep coming back to that respect. I love the whole mobster persona. I love how they're badasses who will beat you up with a trash can and like your own shoe. But if you're the Don, they'll kiss your fucking hand. You don't. He never lays a hand on anybody. He slaps Michael in the face at one point. But like he's like, or not Michael. It was
no, it was Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
slaps him. He's just man the fuck up.
Yep.
But never does anything violent. Is never involved in really anything violent other than being shot. And yet everybody fears him. Everybody has this crazy...
Or knows or wants to kill him.
Or wants to kill him. Yeah, I mean, out of fear.
Yeah.
Or has this crazy respect for him. If he told them to jump off a cliff, they'd absolutely do it without question.
Yep.
I just love that. I love that that's him throughout the entire movie.
See, I want you to... we got to watch part 2, but I also want you to see Goodfellas. Because I feel like it's not a negative, but it's definitely... Like, the portrayal of the Mafia is very old school here. And like, yes, they're all killing each other, but like, Goodfellas doesn't. They kind of glorify it as well, and at times, in certain ways, it's very glamorous sometimes, which it wouldn't be now. But they're also made out more to just be fucking psycho killers.
Really?
And they're
in Goodfellas.
Yeah,
okay.
it's I think it's more realistic because it's based on a completely true story with all the characters are real, and the main guy. The main character just died in 2012, and he told his entire life story, account by account by account. So the movie Goodfellas is very accurate, and it's just a different tone completely. And there's a difference in time. That was in the 40s. Goodfellas is, I believe, in the 70s, 80s.
Oh wow.
So it's a different,
Yeah.
a different time completely. And they're not these hand-kissing, violin background. You know, they're fucking psychopaths.
Chop your head off.
And they're
Fucking-
paranoid and greedy and disgusting. But
Dude,
it's just as Goodfellas is just as good as Godfather. I think they're equal.
God, I need to watch it.
They're just
I
as good.
love that, dude. I love that whole persona. I love the whole mobster feel.
Yeah, they make for incredible film, right?
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
but Godfather tells such a good story. Like, it's so perfect. Like, the pacing is perfect. It's never slow. It's never too fast. You're never behind. Like, oh wait, hold on.
No,
what's going
yeah.
on? Like, it's just this perfect pace all the way through the whole time. There's always something to keep you interested.
Yeah, which is not easy for a movie to do. Not that I'm any expert in that, but for a movie to be 3 hours,
Yeah.
you have to be doing something, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for a movie to be
Or people will just shut it off. Like fucking
for a movie
Alexander.
to be over 2 hours now,
Alexander
it's like
the Great was such a
very
piece
good.
of shit. Movie. Let's cast Colin Firth or Colin Farrell. Or
Colin Farrell, I was like,
no, Colin Firth is a wonderful actor.
Firth.
Colin Farrell.
What's Colin Firth in?
Well, probably movies you haven't seen.
Thank you for that.
He was in The King's Speech. He's in a lot of stuff. You probably recognize him. He's in those Kingsman movies, which I have not seen.
Yeah, I've seen the Kingsman. Or the first one. I mean, the second one's done.
He was like he's like the middle-aged British guy.
Like the main
I'll
guy?
show-
Who plays Harry?
I don't know. I'll show him here.
Okay.
We're here. Why don't we just?
Let's look it up.
Yeah, but I met Colin Farrell, who is fucking this Irish guy playing Alexander the Great, and that movie was like 3 hours long, and it was so bad. It was so bad. And it's a good example of.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he plays Harry.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
one of the main guys. Cool. See, I knew who he was.
Yep,
Yeah,
you did.
I just didn't know who he was. I just saw
Kingsman.
a movie that he was in.
That's actually another one we're gonna have to watch. King's Speech.
Kingsman's really good.
No, King's Speech.
Oh, fine.
Colin Firth.
Kingsman's good too.
We can. I've never seen it.
We
so.
can do it. Ian missed it.
Yeah, we can do an even to fucking turn that shit around. I mean, there's a lot to break down. Like, is there anything else that you're thinking about? Like any scenes or?
It's hard.
What do you think? Like, what were you thinking in the first 20 minutes of that movie? Like when it opens up with it's backing up from that Italian guy telling him his story, and like they're in that dark room, and then the whole wedding thing going on for a long time.
Because we talked about it, and we talked about it beforehand, that there were certain things about the movie I knew from just mainstream that everyone knows. Kind of the Luke, I am your father effect, if you will, is what I'm going to coin that as. I knew it opened up with a wedding.
Right.
That speech he gives at the fucking my daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard that.
Everyone,
so
yeah.
I've heard that.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
But so I knew what he was gonna say. I didn't know what the guy begging him for help was gonna say, and I loved that.
it was a great he's just telling you the story and you're just listening.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
It's
I'm like I don't know who this guy is.
No, but he's
it's
immediately
super
drawn
interesting.
into his story.
Yeah, because he's talking about his daughter and how
Yep.
she was taken advantage of by these two guys, and he's asking for help and he's offering to pay whatever he wants, and Don Corleone's kind of like, and again it touches back on oh, I owe you from back here. Maybe you did something for me, so I'm gonna help you. Or I think he said he's doing it just for the.
He's just
sake
doing
of
it
his
because
daughter's wedding.
they're related. Yeah, he's like it'll be like not related blood, but like they've had some kind of business. I mean, the guy owns a funeral home, so maybe he's like
helps him out every now and then.
So
Yeah.
but he was Corleone was saying like you never invite me to your home for a cup of coffee. You never
anything,
call. You never. Now you want something from me.
He's like, we're not friends, and he's
Yeah.
like, can we be friends?
Be friend.
Okay, he's just so
You
pathetic.
pathetic
He's so
little
pathetic.
worm.
He kisses his hand, but
Yeah.
it works. Whatever, man. It got done. And
Well, and it made. He was able to make that situation where he's being asked to do something into a future favor and a loyal guy.
100%.
The guy will be loyal to him forever now.
yeah,
So he just made himself a slave right there by doing that.
So
and he never looks as if he is telling you to do something. He tricks you into thinking.
yeah. He
that
makes you
he
think that
loves
you owe it to
yeah,
him.
exactly.
Like, oh, you're right. I should.
Exactly.
I should. And it's crazy because he doesn't use like strength. He's not imposing man by any means physically, but he's just got that weird, powerful aura about him.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about his character. And within that wedding scene, there's like 3 or 4 people that come in there just to talk to him and ask him for favors and hey, blah blah blah, and talk about business.
Yeah, he's working the whole wedding.
Yeah. He's at the end. He's like, "Can I get to my daughter's wedding?"
Yeah, can I go out that
He
side?
tries to take a picture, comes back, does more business.
You won't take a picture without Mike.
Without Michael. Then you're introduced to Michael, his son.
Michael's definitely the favorite. I feel like in a way, like he knows what Sonny is and who Sonny is.
I think
like,
so.
right.
I like how
he had the most hope for Michael.
Totally,
I think,
he talks about it when they have
crime.
that. When Michael and Vito have that discussion before he dies, when Michael's kind of taking everything over. That's when he tells him someone's going to come to you about a meeting.
Yeah.
That's how you know who the traitor is, and I love that because that comes up later. But they have that discussion, and he talks about how he wanted better for Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, which we talked about, went to war.
Yeah, World War II.
Kind of is doing. His
They
own
mention
thing.
it very. They don't go into it. There's never
he's
a
in
time.
uniform at the beginning.
There's never a
but,
time where he tells a story about his. You know what I mean? None of
His
that
heroic acts
or
in the
even
battle.
like how scarred he is by it.
No,
You know that.
They talk about
you
him
know
being a
that
hero.
World War II was a horrific fucking
Yeah,
experience, and
yeah.
he's fucked up by
yeah,
it.
just from knowing what World War II is.
And all of us, and at the end of the movie, I think that's why they're able to sell you, even though he's never violent in the whole movie. I mean, he
Not
shoots
really,
the two guys,
yeah.
but like, he's not like Sonny, who
Mm-hmm.
they never like show you, look, he's violent, and they kind of make you like him.
Yeah.
And then he's got no problem killing, and the reason that we accept that in the story is because like, well, he fucking, how many Germans has that guy killed? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, friggin', and they never talk about it. It's
yeah,
just this
but you
weird
just know it. Like
mystery,
it never,
yeah.
it's not out of place. Like there's no one asking, what? So suddenly he's just a murderer?
Right. Everyone knows. There's
yeah.
like 2 or 3 people who bring it up. Hey, we appreciate what you did, or like, hey, we're all proud of you.
Yeah.
But no one's. It never flashes.
He's a
back
hero. They'll
to-
say stuff like
yeah,
that, but that's
it never flashes back to
No,
visions
yeah,
of him
yeah.
slicing throats.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like
being surrounded by dead soldiers. Yeah.
covered in blood.
That's the strength of like the best movies ever, the best actors, and the best writing is subtle, subtlety. Because we are all we're very subtle people, like human beings. Like people don't go around and just exposition everything all the time, and it doesn't have to be all dramatic.
people do.
You can just some do,
people do.
but for the most part, we don't.
No, you're
like
right,
for the
you're
most
right.
part, we don't do that, and they just treat the audience with respect. We think you're gonna understand these things, that we're not just fucking telling you with a
There's
hammer.
that expectation
and a
of
flashlight.
like intelligence.
Yeah.
Like you come into this.
They're
movie,
gonna get this.
Yeah,
You know, and they're going to enjoy it.
Michael is a great character. I love seeing his progression. I already talked about I loved Tommy as
Yep.
the kind of lawyer.
He's great.
Everything. I just love his conversations with people.
He's just very intelligent, very cerebral, and he's the complete opposite of Sonny.
That's Sonny. Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't go to war unless we absolutely have to.
He lays it down, and he's like, here are your options. Here's what is going to cause the least amount of damage.
Right.
Sonny's more of like, this is what I'm doing. Tell me how to do it right.
Right.
Kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think they clashed a little bit, and that's
Yeah.
why. And it didn't work out well for Sonny, but
Yeah.
you know, if he would have talked to Tommy, hey, he just beat my sister again.
Yeah.
Like, I have to go. Tommy would have been like, well, let's figure something out. Let's get guys together.
Yeah,
let's
get
go.
him together, sit him
So
down,
we
and
can't
threaten
let
him.
you can't be
know?
alone. You can't have you alone right now.
Exactly.
But
And he was.
Cooler heads prevailed.
Exactly. They did. Michael is a fucking Terminator, dude. Just wait till
Michael
the second
turns
movie.
into a T-1000 by the end of the movie. Like,
He's just killing everyone. I love
Who's
that
left?
scene. I love that scene when he's in the cathedral with this
During
little baby in
the
his arms,
baptism.
and every one of his enemies is getting slaughtered.
everyone's dying. Everyone, not even only mob bosses, like the casino owner.
Yep.
Shot right in the friggin' eyeball.
I mean, if you're gonna refuse Michael Corleone, then you're gonna get shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, everyone who died, I think, was at the funeral for Don Vito.
They everyone who threw a rose on there died. There's there's all these little things in that movie that you'll remember.
Is so good. Maybe symbolism's not the word, but
No, that's definitely that works. That's definitely symbolism.
Just that scene. Within like 2 minutes, everyone's dead.
Yep.
At the exact same time. So there's no time to let everyone know that everyone's dying.
No.
It's so crazy.
And then he gets out. He walks out. He's been in there for 25 minutes, and all his enemies are fucking
They're all
bloodied
dead.
and dead.
He's the
on
only one
Yep.
left. That's what I'm wondering in the second movie. You know,
what's
obviously
left?
you won't give anything away, but who's he gonna kill?
Yeah.
Like, let's just start murdering people.
Those are just the heads of the families, and now you have all these other people with their sons and their brothers and their
taking
kids.
over after them, right. So are we introduced, without giving too much away, are we introduced to a younger generation of mob bosses then? Like more
I don't remember,
Michael?
to be honest. I've only seen it once.
Okay.
I've seen the original Godfather 2 or 3 times. I've only seen the second one time, and it was a long time. It'll be almost like a new movie.
Awesome.
So here's the question for future Mason Misfits. Do you want the next one, do you want to move right into Godfather 2, keep going? Or would you want to switch it up? Go to do something else?
No, I mean, we can...
Do Do you want to keep it?
Like, it's hard for me to answer right now because
Right,
I'm
'cause
so
you're so
high on
excited.
like Godfather.
Let's
right
let
now.
Godfather sit in, and
Yeah.
then we'll talk about
It's
that.
just, it was so hard for us to find a day where we could get 4
yeah,
hours.
I wish we
to
could do this more often.
I do too.
I
We're
really wish
already
we could do
tomorrow.
this
We
more.
already have to record podcasts,
Yep.
which we would have done tonight. It just,
Yep. So
We need to just quit our jobs.
I know. Just go full
Pull in
time.
that YouTube
Patreon.
.com/. Yeah, right. I think most of the support would just be coming from us. It would be.
What would happen? What would happen when Mason has no longer missed any of it? He's seen it all. He's all
What?
caught up.
I know, right? Mason's
All right.
seen it.
Channel's
All right.
over.
Let's talk about it. All right, we're going
Mason
back.
watches it again.
We're going back to work. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to find a way to. We could do an Ian missed it.
That would be fun.
It would be more shitty pop
I know
culture stuff.
there's one that I want to have Kevin in because he's never seen Gladiator and he's like really into movies, and he told me he has the gist of it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You had the
He
gist
has the
of
gist
Godfather
of it.
before you saw it too. All right, let's just calm
Here's
down.
The gist of it.
You're
Yeah,
gonna watch the
right.
fucking movie. All right, so maybe we can.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I don't know if we talked about it live, but we're gonna have you on the next After Dark podcast.
Yeah,
Hope that's the plan.
Hopefully,
I mean,
yes.
if you're available,
Yep.
we'll talk about that when we get there. But
Cool. Any final thoughts on Godfather, man?
no, man, thanks for doing that. I mean,
I'm so glad that you liked it. As
what's
much as you
crazy is like I feel like I'm just gonna keep thinking about it.
did.
And
Good.
I-
Oh, dude, I did.
I don't feel like that about every movie that
When
we
I was a
watch.
little kid, I had nightmares about that horse.
That horse,
Yeah.
dude.
Nightmares. Because I saw that movie when I was like 13. So I had fucking nightmares. Because I love animals, I love horses, and it didn't scare me, it disturbed me. It
'Cause
made
it
me
is
feel empty
disturbing.
inside.
Yeah,
It made me
and-
feel really empty inside to see that horse dead in that bed.
I'm so bummed out that I knew that was gonna happen. For the most part.
Yeah,
For the most part.
that
I
was
wish
too
I wouldn't
bad.
have
Yeah,
known.
that is too bad that you knew
Because
about the
if
horse.
I try to think about it, not knowing about his, because I love how he talks about the horse. It's $600,000,
Yep.
which in 1945
And it's a
is a
beautiful
yeah,
animal.
it's a
Like,
beautiful animal. He's not even gonna race it. He's just gonna stud it out and use it for.
he said he
breeding and
wanted to
stuff.
breed it, yeah.
Yeah, and he wakes up in the bed and he's just covered in blood. and what the fuck?
Again, the acting, like, it's so realistic. It wasn't just, huh? Ah! It was like, he woke up. You know, you've woken up before and you're like,
right. It fucking. Oh, fuck, what?
it's like bloody or something. Like, it takes him a while, you know? And then you just see that
It's so
slow,
good.
real. At first, he thinks he's hurt, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
Yeah, yeah,
bleeding.
bleeding, yeah.
And then he pushes it back, and then his foot touches and you just know what he's going through. You feel that terror that he has.
And I asked you immediately afterward, and they never answer it. Is who did that? Because you don't think it was Tommy.
No,
doesn't
Tommy
really
doesn't get his hands.
dirty.
And even if he wanted to, you shouldn't be on the grounds at night. I think
No,
they had.
yeah.
I think he had a couple of dudes on
Really paid.
standby. This is 1946. There's no security systems.
Right.
So
Just guys. You know.
yeah,
who
I don't
you
think
can
he
pay.
even really had guards.
No,
you know?
yeah.
I mean,
And if he
wasn't-
did, that's
it was
probably
a
who he
private
paid.
property. He
You know
had
what I
like
mean?
and a couple guys went in there and just probably killed the horse first,
Killed
and
the
then
horse,
chopped
cut
his
its
head
fucking
off.
head
and
off.
Snuck up there, and I mean, the guy lived alone, so it would be easy to do for them.
I just love, and another part that stood out to me before we wrap it up is when Don Corleone's in the hospital
Mhm.
after he gets
Oh,
shot.
Yeah,
Michael shows up to, I think, just to visit him. Really.
yeah, he was there to visit him, but then
Nobody's there,
Yeah.
and you would imagine they had 10 dudes watching him. You know what I mean? Because they knew what the plan was.
yeah, they knew he was going to try to
If they
kill him.
didn't kill him immediately when someone heard that he was still alive. They're gonna go to the hospital and
Yeah.
finish the job.
They had to finish it.
Michael shows up. Nobody's there.
It's so eerie. This
Then-
cramped little New York hospital.
It's very echoey.
Yeah.
Very like the lighting
It's
is
all blue.
dim and weird. Look at that ugly Dr. Blue.
Yeah.
It's just shitty. And the nurse is like,
It looks like a hospital built in 1911.
yeah. And the nurse
Which
tells
probably
him
was.
the cops told everyone to leave. So I immediately thought either all the people guarding were crooked, which couldn't have been. Those were his people.
Yeah.
They just have to listen to cops.
Yeah.
Because cops are cops. You know what I mean? But that makes me wonder too. Like,
Why are the cops telling them they have to leave?
well, if cops told them to leave, why didn't they immediately go, "This is a problem. We need to talk to someone"? But then again, I'm like, oh, 1945. No one has a cell phone.
No, they have
They're
to
just
go
gonna
get to a
pull
payphone.
out and like, hey, this is going down.
Yep.
Like, so there was a real like lack of communication there. And then you go, well, I get the
and
different
the
times.
movie lets you get there.
Mhm.
That's why that movie is so good. It empowers the viewer.
Mhm.
It doesn't. It's total show don't tell.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
figured
yeah.
that out yourself. You're
Yeah.
like you all by yourself. You're like, oh shit, cops told him to leave. The cops are being paid by this other guy.
This other guy.
Like it just click, 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 click.
That's another thing.
And then they tell it to you later to confirm everything you know and make you feel really good and be like,
give
oh, you know.
like a little gift. Here,
but it's not
You figured it
predictable.
out. No.
It gives you like this little piece, and then right as you're like figuring it out, it explains it. And you're like, oh yes, it's so satisfying.
In touching back again on just that old mob persona, which I love now. Like I liked it before, but now I just that movie.
This created it.
It's so good. It had to be where everything stems from, right? And I mean,
Sleeping with the Fishes started here. Offer You Can't Refuse.
But everyone talks about their connections, whether it be political or even in the newspaper. He's like, well, we have a couple guys who we're paying in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Maybe they can make this article sway more toward us rather than us being the enemy. Police, obviously, they just get paid more by a different guy. So
exactly.
They're
They're always under the foot.
But I loved a dialogue between Michael and his newer wife. It's later on when he's becoming Don. Old wife is dead. And she says something along the lines of like, he's kind of explaining what he does. She's super ignorant, and you kind of talk about it. Maybe she's pretending like she's really
just forcing. She's like it's like religion.
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
Like, I'm just gonna buy it.
She's just like, oh, he's an accountant.
Yeah,
but like really, he cuts people's heads off.
She's not stupid, dude. She
seems so stupid.
She is the original mafia wife.
Yeah.
What is it to be a mafia wife? An enabler. Oh, okay.
Just shut up and don't ask him about his business, which he talks about. But they're talking, and she's like. Says something along the lines of like, but Michael, senators and governors don't kill people, and he's like,
really?
Who's ignorant now? Like, who is being naive now? Like, he's like, you have no idea. Like, and I love that because she kind of is just like, oh, okay. She just goes with it. I'm just gonna be quiet and not ask questions.
I think that's why he wanted her. I don't think he loves her at all.
Oh, really?
Do you? Do you ever feel like, oh man, he really is in love with her?
I think he really was in love with the other girl.
Yeah, I do too. I think he was too. But he's like, I think he wants Kate because she listens to everything he says.
She's the perfect mom.
She shuts the fuck up and she gets out of the room and she doesn't ask questions. She does in the beginning.
In the beginning, yeah, but
and then he gives her that. I'll tell you that.
It
what. Reminds me of Last of Us. The ending of Last of Us when she spoilers for Last of Us. When she
go play Last of Us.
when Ellie says like, "Is that really what happened? Are you telling the truth?" And he says,
"He
yes."
lies right to her face.
Yeah, it's the same thing
for her.
He's like, "I'll let you ask one question,"
and she's like, "Oh, good, I get him for this one question."
Yeah, she's like, he's letting me in. That's
why would he ever lie to me?
Yeah,
he lies right to her face. He's
and
like,
she just lights up. I think she believes it at first, and then as she's walking out, her facial expression kind of melts a little bit. And she's like, "I think I was just lied to." And then the door closes and the music.
The door. They're all kissing his hand in the background.
Oh man!
They all shake his hand, congratulating him. Way to go, killing everybody. But dude, what a good movie! Like I have like energy now. It's really weird. Like I
understand.
I want to bust out my PS2 and play the game again. Like, it's just so good, dude. I'm gonna be thinking about it a lot, talking about it. I'm sure. It's just so good.
I'm really glad that you liked it.
So good.
I'm really glad that you liked it. We'll come up with what we're going to do next if we want to move on to 2.
Or
just maybe just go totally different area to like break it up and then come back.
Maybe we'll take a break from Godfather for a little bit and then come back. Whatever's.
I'll show you like a bunch of movies.
If we find ourselves with some more time, we'll jump into Godfather.
Cool.
All
right.
That's it, man.
That was it. Godfather.
4 hours.
He loved it.
He loved it. He fucking loved it.
I'm very excited about that. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Mason.
Later.